Governor Bello Matawalle assures of his administration's commitment to bringing lasting peace in the state. The Chief of Army Staff has given troops 48-hour ultimatum. Senate seeks to prohibit casual jobs for graduates in Nigeria on business. Nigeria to supply power to Republic of Togo. On the international scene, South Africa's anti-graft panel seeks 2-year jail for Zuma. On sports, Falcons seeks to make it 3 wins out of 3 in Turkey. Welcome to Svtv News. I am Musa Joy Unyoza. The Zamfara State Governor Bello Mohammed Matawalle Maradun has assured of his administration's commitment to bringing lasting peace in the state. The governor made the disclosure while receiving 3 repentant bandits who surrendered 2 AK-47 rifles and some ammunition at a government house, Gusau.
The Executive Governor of Zamfara State, Dr. Muhammad Bello Shettiman Dawla Usmaniya, I'm handing over the 2 AK-47 rifle with 2 magazines and the ammunition over to you, the Commissioner of Police.
Repentant bandits who operated around Bakura local government area of the state said they decided to embrace the Zamfara State peace and reconciliation process, to lay down their arms out of their free will and for peace to reign in the state. Governor Matawalle said his administration is determined to bring lasting peace in the state through genuine reconciliation and disarmament, for the purpose of having a more peaceful state where everyone can live without any fear of being attacked.
Our own is to make sure that the people of Zamfara can move freely, can sleep with both their eyes closed. And we are going to achieve it. As I was just brief, we are still expecting a large number of them who decided to repent, to bring up their weapons to the government, which within the week we are expecting them to do so, and they are all leaders of some of these bandits who decided to repent.
He said only dialogue can resolve the insecurity situation bedeviling the state and the country at large, and the return of lasting peace, pointing out that no war or crisis ends through the use of force but peace.
No war in the world that was succeeded without coming back to a table to sit down and negotiate. And just for today, the weapons we have here at hand shows and indicates the successes, because living this kind of dangerous weapon in the bush can create a lot of havoc. It can destroy so many families. It can destroy properties. But by bringing them to the security agencies, we have reduced their capacity and capability. People are debating on this issue of insecurity, but they don't even know the root cause, and they don't want to listen, they don't want to understand. They only jump and conclude that why Governor A, B, C, D are subscribing to dialogue.
Zamfara State Executive Council of the Nigerian Union of Journalists have confirmed its Vice Chairman, Comrade Bello Ibrahim Boko, to serve in the acting capacity as Council Chairman following the redeployment of the Chairman, Comrade Abdulrazak Bello Kaura, to Sokoto State. A statement signed by the State Assistant Secretary of the Union, Comrade Nasru Shehu, said Abdulrazak Kaura, a staff of the Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, Pride FM, Gusau, was transferred to Sokoto Royal FM by his head office about a fortnight ago. During a state executive council meeting held at the NUJ Press Center on Monday, a unanimous decision was reached to employ the constitutional provision of the union by confirming the acting capacity on vice chairman in the event the position becomes vacant for whatever reason. For more on the story, Samira Ibrahim reports.
While the union emphasizes its continued commitment in upholding its social responsibility, the statement, however, notifies all stakeholders that the vice chairman, Comrade Bello Muhammad Boko, will serve as acting chairman pending a by-election on a date to be announced later. According to the statement, the union reiterates its appreciation to Governor Bello Matawale for his cooperation and support to the union, stressing that it will continue to partner with his administration, especially in the fight against armed banditry, through his peace initiative. However, the embattled chairman of the union, Comrade Abdulrazak Bello Kaura, reacted swiftly to the action by the Executive Council of the union to remove him as the NUJ chairman Zamfara State Chapter. Comrade Abdulrazak Bello Kaura reacted in the union's WhatsApp group, Newsback, saying he is still a staff of Radio Nigeria Pride FM Gusau and also the substantive chairman of the NUJ Zamfara State Chapter, and urged members of the SEC to stop the shameful game and work together to move the union forward. That's the report. Samira Ibrahim reporting for SVTV News, Gusau.
The federal government has directed TV stations to, in line with National Broadcasting Code, deploy sign language interpreters during their major newscasting. The Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, gave the directive on Monday in Abuja during a virtual meeting with the officials of the Center for Citizens with Disabilities. The minister said that the directive will be officially communicated to all public and private television stations. Report says that the directive was sequel to the complaint by the Executive Director of Center for Citizens with Disabilities, Mr. David Ayele, that many of their members were being discriminated against without the sign language component during newscasting. Mr. David, who was physically present at the meeting, said he was making the request on behalf of the 31 million Nigerians living with disabilities. The Chief of Army Staff, Major General Ibrahim Attahiru, has given forth 8-hour ultimatum to the troops of the Nigerian Army, Operation Lafiadole, to clear Marte local government area of Borno State, which was recently attacked and taken over by the Boko Haram sect. He also directed the troops to clear some communities of Marte and Ngala local government areas in the state. Major General Attahiru gave the ultimatum on Sunday while addressing troops of the Nigerian Army Super Camp 9 Dikwa. For more on the story, Samira Ibrahim reports.
The Chief of Army Staff said areas around Marte, Chikungudu, Wulgu, Kirenowa, and Kirta must be cleared in the next 48 hours.
I present myself as your Chief of Army Staff to get to meet you, and you get to know me as well. The essence of this visit is operational. The idea is to motivate you. In the last few days, we had attacks in your area of responsibility. It is now high time we get back and fight through and support our forces ahead of you. Areas around Marte, Chukungudu, Kerenua, up to Kita will go must be cleared in the next 48 hours. You will be rest assured of all the support required in this very onerous task.
While appreciating the effort of the troops in the fight against Boko Haram, the Chief of Army Staff said he had just spoken to the theater commander and the general officer commanding 7th Division that they must not let this nation down.
I've just spoken to your theater commander, general officer commanding. You cannot let this nation down. You must go there and do the needful, and I will be right behind you. Having said that, be rest assured of all the support required. I will ensure you do your job and do your job well. They have presented certain issues that came up. Overstay of soldiers, sooner rather than later, we will address. Where there are no adequate A and B vehicles, we will provide.
Meanwhile, at least 5 internally displaced persons have been slaughtered in Damboa local government area of Borno State. The IDPs reportedly went in search of firewood outside Damboa town on Sunday morning when the incident happened. According to a member of the local vigilante group, Abu Damboa, the IDPs were declared missing when they didn't return. Humanitarian sources said the incident happened on Sunday afternoon, adding that the victims have been buried according to Islamic rites. This is coming less than 24 hours after the Chief of Army Staff, Major General Ibrahim Attahiru, gave a marching order to the troops to reclaim some communities under the control of the insurgents in Borno State. That's the report. Samira Ibrahim, SVTV News, Kusau.
27,000 people have benefited from food items and cash support as part of humanitarian assistance from the Borno State government. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum personally supervised the distributions of the items in 4 different locations of Gwozo town that lasted for 3 days. Our correspondent Ibrahim Musagwangwazu compiled this report.
Supervised by Babagana Umar Zulum, the distribution process starts the first day with a screening of the beneficiary. Each one was given a ticket, and each of the 11,000 male of the beneficiaries were given a bag of rice, beans, and maize in a group of 10 persons for convenience. Same process was followed the second day for the 16,000 female beneficiaries, where each one of them were given 5,000 naira cash support. The beneficiaries were happy with the gesture and promised to be with the governor at all times.
Da yake shi ya ce mana shi na talakawa ne, to wallahi mu talakawa muna tare da shi.
During the process, Governor Babagana Zulum addressed the press.
We distributed food items to about 11,000 heads of households. We shall see how we can support the women group. Their number is higher than that of their male counterparts, but it's ranging around 15 to 20,000.
Also, during the distribution exercise, Senator representing Borno South, Muhammad Ali Ndumi, who was with the governor, has called on the federal government to join hands with the Borno state government toward assisting the refugees, as the state cannot cope with the problem alone.
What the governor did was touching on humanity. But I want to use this opportunity to call on the federal government and all the individuals concerned that what you see in Goza cannot be sustained by the state government.
Meanwhile, Governor Babagana Umar Zulum of Borno State has called on the communities where developmental projects are cited to imbibe maintenance culture. The governor made the call while inspecting road constructions at Dari community, as well as London Chiki in Jere local government area of Borno State. Ibrahim Musa Gwangwalu filing this report.
In line with the 10-point transformation agenda, the present Borno state government has embarked on the development projects in various parts of the state. During the inspection visit of the road construction at Jidari community, which is at various stages for completion, Professor Babagana Zulum expressed dismay over the nonchalant attitude of the community in the area, especially dumping of refuse in the newly constructed drainage. He said there is need for the community to take ownership of the project. From Jidari, the entourage proceed to London Chiki to inspect the similar projects, where the governor informed the community that the street light will be installed as soon as the road and drainage are completed. Governor Babagana Zulum was also at Kalari, Shuarin village in Mapa local government of Borno State, where he also inspected the ongoing housing project there, and he called on the contractors to expedite action to complete the project and comply with the specifications.
The leadership of the Nigerian Assembly on Monday met the Minister of Finance, Hajia Zainab Ahmed, and her team to appraise the performance of the capital component of the 2020 budget, which is expected to run till the end of March this year. President of the Senate, Alhaji Ahmed Lawan, and Speaker of the House of Representatives, Mr. Femi Bajabiamila, led other principal officers of both chambers to the meeting which held at the National Assembly, Abuja. In his opening remarks, the Senate President said the meeting was specifically for the principal officers of the National Assembly to interact with the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning on the continued implementation of the 2020 capital budget. The Senate President said it is important that they interact with the Ministry of Finance to know how far they've gone with implementation of the 2021 Appropriation Act. On his part, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Bajabiamila, described the level of implementation of the 2020 budget as the highest recorded so far since Nigerians' return to democracy in 1999. The Southeast Governors Forum has moved indecisively to resolve the impasse between Governor Hope Uzodinma of Imo State and his predecessor, Senator Rochas Okorocha, in order to avoid the situation degenerating into an uncontrollable dimension. The squabble that ensued between Governor Uzodinma and Senator Okorocha snowballed into an ugly incident in which supporters of the two powerful politicians were let loose on each other on Sunday, February 21st, when former governor was believed to have forced his way into the premises of the Royal Spring Palm apartment, Owerri, allegedly belonging to his wife, but sealed by the Imo State government on February 19, 2021. The situation, which almost degenerated into fisticuffs and possible gunshots, was however brought under control by officers and men of the Imo Police Command, which later arrested Senator Okorocha.
And nobody can thwart this petition. No. Heel up. Bring it up. You will in 2001, you know that? I'm the one. I tell Fred. You know. No, you know now. You know. Yeah, 53. I'm 56. I'm 50. Whatever you're doing. I'm the one that can you. I can your will. I can your will. I tell Fred. You know. Let's stop that nonsense. Which innocent? Who are you? Don't you know you're in 2001, I go on. You pay for it.
Chairman of the Southeast Governors Forum, Governor David Umahi of Ebonyi State, announced on Monday that the forum is already handling the issue. The Senate on Thursday considered a bill seeking to stop employers in the private and public sectors from engaging employable Nigerian graduates as casual workers. The Prohibition of Casualization Bill 2020 is sponsored by Senator Ayo Akinyelure, PDP Ondo Central. Leading the debate on the bill, Senator Akinyelure said that casualization of Nigerian graduates in the Nigerian labor market has become a subject of great concern as more workers continue to groan under his immoral strategy of cutting costs by employers, rendering them inferior to their counterparts in other countries of the world. According to him, statistics from the Nigerian Labour Congress shows that many workers in the telecommunications, oil and gas sectors are engaged as casual laborers by employers of laborers. Other sectors with thousands of casual laborers include mining, steel, banking, and insurance. In all the sectors, staff outsourcing and casualization have become the order of the day, as such workers no longer have regular employment terms, and therefore Nigerian graduates are treated as second-class citizens in their own country of origin, while foreigners from underdeveloped countries, from Asia, India, Pakistan, Lebanon with less qualification to Nigerian graduates are placed as managers above Nigerian graduates in many private and even government establishments in Nigeria. Kano State Governor Abdullahi Umar Ganduje has approved the appointment of Dr. Junaidu Yakub Mohammed as the new Managing Director of Kano State Agricultural Resources Development Authority, Alhaji Modan Umar Bebeji as the Executive Secretary, Kano State Scholarship Board, and Hajia Aminatu Mohammed Usman as a Permanent Secretary in the State Civil Service. A statement issued by Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Abba Umar, on Monday said all the three appointments are with immediate effect. The statement said while directing the appointees to always imbibe the culture of teamwork in their new positions, Governor Ganduje directed them to also coordinate very well with other staff. He also urged them to work in compliance with global best practice, emphasizing that they should make good use of modern technology in discharging of their responsibilities. The strike action embarked upon by commercial tricycle operators, popularly known as Adede Tasahu, has left thousands of Kano commuters stranded. The tricyclists have decided to withdraw their services to protest the imposition of 100 Naira daily levy collected by Kano State Government through the Kano Road Transport Authority, Karuta. Newspen observed that the usual noise created by hundreds of tricyclists in the city was non-existent, just as commuters were seen stranded along roads within the metropolis. However, the Nigerian Labour Congress says it has opened dialogue between striking tricycle riders and Kano Road and Traffic Agency over the payment of 100 Naira levy by operators. For more on the story, Sufyan Abubakar reports.
Nigerian Labour Congress is collaborating with the civil society organizations to ensure that a truce is secured between the two parties for peace to reign in the state. Speaking at a news conference, Kano NLC chairman, Comrade Kabir Adomin Jibiru, described the action as worrisome as many civil servants, students and passengers were forced to either trek to their destination or go back home in the early hours of Monday. Reports said that on Monday, the tricycle riders commenced a warning strike by withdrawing their services over the failure of the state government to suspend the daily payment of 100 Naira as a levy. Even though the tricycle union is not a registered union with the NLC, but its strike affects workers' welfare and their socio-economic activity. Abu Sufyan Abubakar reporting for SVTV News.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has attributed the current high crime rate in the country to drug abuse, saying no fewer than 50 million Nigerians are currently using illicit drugs. Retired Brigadier General Buba Marwa, the new chairman chief executive officer of the agency, disclosed this on Monday in Port Harcourt during his first familiarization tour to sister agencies and stakeholders in Rivers State. According to him, the country is getting destroyed with the drug scourge, adding that all the criminalities that the country is currently facing are all being perpetrated by illicit drug users. The chairman added that armed robbery, kidnapping, banditry, insurgency, militancy, rape, and other social vices are carried out by illicit drug users. He also stated that the tasks of arrest and seizure of these illicit drugs were all geared towards cutting down on its availability to Nigerians. Still to come your way is the business, the international, and the sport. But before that, a quick commercial break. Stay tuned. Welcome back on Business. Samira Ibrahim has more detail.
Welcome to Business Desk. The Executive Director Generation, Niger Delta Power Holding Company, Mr. Qasim Abdullahi, says the firm is working to export power to Togo Republic through the Calabar Power Plant. Mr. Abdullahi disclosed this in a statement signed by Mrs. Olufunke Wonko, Niger Delta Power Holding Company's head, Communication and Public Relations, on Monday in Abuja. The statement followed an inspection of the Calabar Power Plant in Odupani, Cross River State recently. Mr. Abdullahi said that the company already had a power purchase agreement to supply 70 megawatts of power to Togo, a West African nation, from the power plant. While stating that the firm was also in discussion to supply another 100 megawatts to Paradise City in Calabar, he assured Nigerians of improved power supply through the eligible customer framework. That's all on Business Desk today. Thanks for watching. I'm Samira Ibrahim. Back to the newsroom.
And on the foreign scene, a judicial panel probing runaway craft on Monday asked South Africa's top court to jail ex-President Jacob Zuma for 2 years for defying a court order compelling him to testify. The 78-year-old had intentionally and unlawfully failed to appear on 15 to 19 February 2021 or to supply affidavits, the Commission said as it filed an urgent application with the Constitutional Court. Mr. Zuma has played cat and mouse with the Commission since it was set up in 2018 to investigate the plunder of state coffers during his 9-year rule. He has repeatedly snubbed summons by the Commission, claiming its chair, Deputy Chief Justice Raymond Zondo, is biased and testified only once in July 2019 before staging a walkout days later. In the latest showdown, Zuma refused to show up despite the Constitutional Court ordering him to do so. And that's all on the foreign scene. On sports, Sufyan Abubakar has more detail.
Hello, welcome to the Sports Room. I am Abu Sufyan Abubakar, and as usual, I bring the sports updates. 2 games and 2 wins for the Nigerian national women's football team. The Super Falcons are roaring again after almost 18 months of inactivity. The team is in Turkey participating in the annual Alanya Gold City Cup with the team under a new management team headed by coach Randy Waldrom. The team started the tournament with a 1-0 win over CSKA Moscow women's team last Thursday, and it was a goal from Chinwedu Ehezuo that secured the victory. That win got Waldrom's tenure off to a winning start at the Emir Sports Complex. On Saturday, the Falcons followed up that victory with another 1-0 win over Uzbekistan national women's team at the Emirhan Sports Center Stadium. The only goal was scored by Halimat Ainde in the 47th minute of the game with a sumptuous volley in the box after a superb walk down the right by Azizat Oshaullah. The next match for the team is against West African neighbours Equatorial Guinea on Tuesday in the last round-robin match in the Alanya Gold City Cup. And that's all we have on sports today. Back to the newsroom.
That has been the news from Standard Voice Television. To end the news, a quick look at the major headlines. Governor Bello Matawalle assures of his administration's commitment to bringing lasting peace in the state. The Chief of Army Staff has given troops 48-hour ultimatum. Senate seeks to prohibit casual jobs for graduates in Nigeria. On business, Nigeria to supply power to Republic of Togo. On the international scene, South Africa's anti-graft panel seeks 2-year jail term for Zuma. On sports, Falcons seeks to make it 3 wins out of 3 in Turkey. That's the news on behalf of the production crew and Head of News and Current Affairs Department, Alhaji Ibrahim Garabatino. I still remain Musa Joy Unyoga. Thanks for watching and stay tuned.